begin broadcasting. Oh, what? Would you look at that? Uh, okay. Oh, my bad. My mic was turned off. Uh, if you'd excuse me, gotta make sure it was working. Okay, so welcome back. Perhaps this time the pain and torment will be visible to you as well as we dive into the rabbit hole that is the weirdest videos on the internet. Now, that is what they claim. Doesn't mean that it's true. It's just what they believe. So we're gonna go ahead and see if that's true or not. So, uh, first of all, is anyone actually watching this? Please do say hi now. It'd be nice to know. Um, that it's actually being monitored. Second of all, I don't need to. Uh, okay. I was just linking my second monitor up to it so I could make sure that I was monitoring it correctly. Um, so here we are uh, at the playlist. Let me go ahead and check the frames because I need to make sure they're working correctly. Uh, First of all, it's probably already burning up a little bit. Yeah, it's already getting kind of hot. Okay, well, let's go ahead and begin like we did yesterday, but from the beginning and hope to God that it actually runs this time. New problem. Uh, Headset is not connecting. Uh, Give me 1 second. Let me make sure my AirPods are connected because okay. So far there have been no dropped frames. Things keep disconnecting. Okay. Now I need to make sure that desktop audio is still set to they just shut off again. That's weird. This is the only real headset I have actually. So I need to hope that they need to stay connected. I don't know why they're disconnecting so much. This is extremely difficult to manage. Because I'm having to do so much. That should mean it's connected. Okay. Uh, it, yeah, they may start acting up. Here, let me go get a, oh, I know what's wrong. Okay. I have discovered what is happening here. Looks like two of my devices were fighting over who actually got to be connected to the thingy-mabobs or not. So, let me reopen this. Check the properties again. Okay. Uh, um, well, if I could just find a way to test properties. Discard. Shoot. Oh, come on. This doesn't work. Jeez. Alright. Uh, First of all, let me go get my actual headset and use that. It'll be easier for everyone. Okay, this is my old headset. I can tell because it feels awful to hold in my head, but uh, my newer one uses Xbox wireless connections, which doesn't allow me to connect it through Bluetooth. So, uh, looks like I am gonna have to use this. Also means I'm gonna have to update the desktop audio. Mm. Uh, capture. Headset microphone. Okay, I need to delete this. Um, um. Alright, remove. Yes. Okay. So, oh my goodness, I'm gonna keep hitting that, aren't I? Hate this headset. Okay. If everything wasn't being so difficult, I could do this, but I need to make sure you can hear this. So I'm gonna play this video. Uh, okay. I know how to fix this. I think I know how to fix this. Yep. Headphones. Let's not spoil too much. I'm using this video, the yelling creature. Yeah, that works. But I don't think y'all. Oh, no. Okay. Uh, can. Oh my god. There was a bit of a situation. Okay, we're ready to go, I think. Let's start this video again. This looks like a fun one. And you're gonna have to tell me, because I'm not sure. Just tell me if it's working right, okay? There's someone here, right? Just tell me in the chat, please. Is that, like, too loud or not loud enough? It's really loud on my end. I'm turning it down a little bit. Just to spare myself. Is this the audio working right? I don't know what this is, honestly. Does it still work if I do this? Or the frame's gonna drop like a... What is that? I didn't ask for that. Oh, jeez. This is like a crappy Pixar movie. If you could, please. I really need to know if the audio is mixing well enough. I don't like this. This is messed up. What the hell is that? What am I watching? What just happened? That was... This is the crappiest. This is just disturbingly awful in quality. I don't like this, guys. So, just remind me again, like, how the audio's doing, because remember, I need to know so I can fix it if it's not working right. It should be, but I don't know. Okay, good. That's good. That means it's working right. I lowered the bit rate. I think that's what was wrong with it. What is this? Whoa! Hey, ho! How much longer? What? This is just cutting all over the place. Okay, now he's decapitated. That's fun. That's always exciting. Is that the end? I think it is. Oh, I remember this. I did not like this. This is what cursed my computer.
Was a butcher who lived all alone. She had no husband or kids of her own. Well, her
Yeah, it was sad.
belly was barren and it caused her such grief. Now one day she built a little boy out of beef. She sold
Out of beef.
sausages,
That is not like beef. That's like cow shit.
leg of lamb, made his face out of bacon and two hands out of ham. And when her job was complete, she named the little guy Pete. She cradled him in her arms and then he suckled her teat. You see the
Oh.
breast, well, it had given him breath. And she was so freaked out that she got scared to death. And in the last
Oh, so
words
she
she
died?
said, right before she died,
Be a good boy, Pete, and find the meaning of life.
What the? Meat puppet.
so I hitchhiked down the highway. I was sure on my way. I got a job cleaning out urinals at the Circus Burger fast food chain. The manager said, "Hey kid, I
Well, this is good.
you ever think about advertising?"
I kind of like
And they
this.
made me the clown face mascot of the whole entire franchise. And overnight I became a celebrity, a household name. My face was pasted everywhere. I had so much fortune, so much fame. I was on TV screens.
We got about this far, I think, and then my computer died.
3 kids, make mansions, married me an ex-beauty queen.
This is just going everywhere.
More and more, I needed more money, booze, and coke and whores. It was fast cars, fast women, fast food life, where I puked on fans and cheated on the wife, and my head kept spinning round and round, and then it all came crashing.
This is where like the sex tape comes in, I think.
And then it happened, and I really don't know how. A sex tape leaked of me getting freaky with a cow. It was
A cow.
I lost my job. Scandal. I lost my kids. Scandal. The wife threw me out. Scandal. And my sausages. And I was forced to walk the streets and sell my beefcake body for sex. Just make ends meet. I said, oh, well, what is next? I got maggots and worms in my perm. Was forced to beg. I got so hungry one night I had to eat my own leg.
I mean, that's not too bad. Your leg's like a chicken finger for a foot. I think at the end of all these, everyone just like rate it from 1 to 10. I guess rate each video from 1 to 10 at the end.
Make sure you say hi as I do up my set and find that meaning of life. So long now.
How long is this? I mean, Pete got the meaning of life, so that's one thing, right? I feel fantastic. I've heard about this. I've heard about it. Yeah, I like meat too, Killsty. It's nice. I don't know what to think of this, though. I've heard of this. I had a friend suggest this to me one time. I never watched it. I don't feel fantastic. I find it very disturbing that you remember this in any capacity. I find it very disturbing. No. Please. Why? Who made this? You remember the exact date that you saw this? I mean, I would too. This is traumatizing. So, I can kind of understand that. Please stop. This is disturbing. Guess I kind of brought it on myself though. It's almost over. I'm gonna stop checking that. Oh, by the way, you never rated the meat puppet. What is this? What the hell is this? I can't tell if the stream's lagging or if it's actually this bad. I think it's just this bad, honestly. It is.
Hello, person.
Okay. Rated, like rated,
Hello, person.
like. Oh, no, okay, I'd talk, but I'm gonna have to start yelling over the ear rape voice of this monster.
Can you?
No.
What?
Hello, person.
Give me 1 second. I can't mute my mic. Just like close the door. What? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. God is dead out of two. I mean, okay. Weird day calls for weird ratings. This is the trippiest video I've seen in a very long time. Indeed, though, God is dead. What is happening? Okay.
Are you still doing that hand thing? I heard you're doing the hand thing today. God, what is that?
Why? What is this?
You've been doing this for 24/7. So you've been doing the hand thing all day? Heard you were. Jordan told me you had been doing it on a sleeping bag earlier. Shit, I can't stop doing the thing. What is it? God, I heard you're doing the hand thing. Shay. My hands are hurting, Shay.
The,
What is that?
what? It's a good
What is
question.
it? God, Shay, have you been doing this for 24 hours in a row?
Stop.
Shay, I can't stop doing the thing. What is it? Shay?
Why did it restart from the beginning at the end? Oh wait, I know about Salad Fingers. I used to watch these. This is gonna bring back some memories. Anyone here
Hello.
watch that crappy film theory on this?
I like rusty spoons. I like to touch them. The feeling of rust against my salad fingers is almost orgasmic. I must find the perfect spoon.
Indeed, my friend, indeed. This is a classic. All the audio quality was beyond perfect. Just beautiful.
Hello there, young child. I'm here to inquire about your spoons.
Beautiful.
Might I ask where you keep the spoons? I see. Then I must leave. But first, I'd like to caress this rusty kettle.
That's nice. Keep caressing it. Isn't it steaming though? Like, it may just be me, but it's steaming. So, seems kind of stupid to touch it like that. I already don't like this. We're 3 seconds in. I don't like this. What the hell? What the? I won't what? Just no. There's a lot of Donkey Kongs. Oh, I know what song this is now. I actually like this. I mean, it's weird, but I like it for some reason. Like, it's not bad weird. It's just kind of... It's got a vibe, you know? It's like one of those shitty, like, 70 movies. Is that the end? That's the end. Okay, this is horror galore, so...
دور 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 غفلة غفلة غفلة
It's filmed like it's being recorded on a phone. Like, horizontally. What is that? But, have fun. I'm not having fun with this. What is this? What is that? What is that? Is that a woman? Dude, just get out of there. I don't know what you're doing. Is your face covered up? Like, I can't really tell what's wrong with the guy. Dude, is he like speaking a foreign language? What in the name of... Oh, it's starting to go to boredom pretty fast now. You don't know how to like swerve? Drive! What are you doing? I'm an idiot. He's going...
Staying up late, making it right, living it up to my name. Focus on doing it better. We just be doing the same, you doing it lame. I'm doing like everything changed. Forget all the money, forget all the fame. I still would have done it if they would have played all of the music I make every day. Like, bro.
Oh, I should have done that. I should have turned on subtitles. You know what? Let me just turn on subtitles from now on. It should just automatically be English.
Now where could my pipe be? Garfield?
This just looked like a really shitty cosplay thing. That's what this gives you vibes. That was probably so difficult to make. In case you couldn't tell, I was being very sarcastic. Why couldn't it just stay right there? I can already see this getting dark. Okay, but why did you have to come in like that? What was the point in that?
When I was 18,
That's good to
18
know
years
you were
old.
18.
I saw for the first time in my life, I saw a vision of clarity. I saw a comic strip, a
What?
3-panel
Oh.
comic strip that, though simple as it seemed, changed me, changed my being, changed who I am, made me who I am, enlightened me. The strip, Garfield. The comic strip was new.
Well,
No
too
more
bad
than maybe a
annotations
month
don't
and a half
exist
since
anymore. I
Inception
actually tried to
exists.
use them
Since
like in
coming
their
into
final
existence.
days,
And there
but
it was
never
before
really
me
got a
in
good
print. I saw it.
chance or
A comic
reason
strip.
to. So,
What was it
rip
called?
annotations.
Garfield.
But
The story here
maybe
is of a
what
man,
we can still
plain
find
man.
in
His
these
job.
videos is
He is more
enough
than
to
I will get to this
mentally
later.
crush me.
But first, let us just say he is John, a plain man. And then there is a cat, Garfield. This is the nature of the world here. When I see the world, the politics, the future, the satellites in space, and the people who put them there, you can look at everything as a man and a cat. two beings in harmony and at war. So this strip I saw about this man, John, and the cat, Garfield, you
Wait a
see.
minute.
Yes.
Oh, I know
It's
this
not
video
This
too.
little comic is
Uh,
so
One of my friends from
behold,
school
I'm so little in it.
watched this entire
yes,
documentary during
when I was
first
18,
period.
I saw this comic.
I know what this
And it
is
hit me
now.
all at once. It's power.
I'm not watching
Flipped
all
it, and every
this.
day I looked at it and I said,
I-
okay, let me look at this here. What is this doing to me? Why is this so
I wonder-
powerful?
Maybe I'll watch this. You know what? I'll
John
watch
Arbuckle, He
this.
sits here, legs crossed, comfortable in his home, and he reads his newspaper. The news of the world, perhaps. And then he extends his fingers lightly, delicately. He taps his fingers on an end table and he feels for something. What is it? It is something he needs, but it is not there. And then he looks up, slightly cockeyed, and he thinks,
It's 3
his newspaper in
little
his lap now,
pictures.
and he thinks this. Now, where could my pipe be? This. I always come to this because I was a young man. I'm older now. And I still don't have the secrets.
He's
the
like an
answers,
English
so this
teacher, the way he's
question still rings
overanalyzing
true.
this.
John looks up and he
It's
thinks,
amazing.
now where could my pipe be? And then it happens. You see it. You see, it's almost like divine intervention. Suddenly, it is there and it overpowers you. A cat is smoking a pipe. It is the man's pipe. It's John's pipe. But the cat, this cat Garfield, is smoking the pipe. And from afar and from someplace near but not clear, near but not clear, the man
Yeah,
calls
that's
out.
cool.
John calls out. He is shocked. Garfield, he shouts. Garfield, the cat's name.
Yeah, no doubt.
But let's take a step back. Let us examine this from all sides, all perspectives. And when I first
is
came
deep.
across this comic strip, I was at my father's house. The newspaper had arrived and I picked it up for him and brought it inside. I organized his sections for him and then, yes, the comic strips section fell out from somewhere in the middle and landed on the kitchen floor. I picked up the paper pages and saw up somewhere near the top of this strip. And just like John, I too was wearing an aquamarine shirt. So I thought, interesting. I'll have to see to this later. I snipped out the little comic and held onto it. And 5 days later, I re-examined. And it gripped me. I needed to find out more about this.
It's just
information
3
I had was
pictures,
minimal.
man.
But enough. An orange cat named Garfield. Okay, that seemed to be the linchpin of this whole operation. And yes, another clue. A signature in the bottom right corner. A man's name. Jim Davis.
Yeah.
Yes. I am onto it for sure. So, 1.
What?
Orange cat.
The guy who made the strip.
Jim
What are
Davis,
you
the creator of
talking
this
about?
And that curiously plain man. I did not know at the time that his name was John. The strip, you see, had no mention of this man's name, and I'd never seen it before. But I had these clues. Jim Davis, Garfield. And then I saw more. I spotted the tiny copyright mark. In the
This
upper left
goes
corner.
on, I kid you not, for an
1978
hour.
to- What is this? Copyright belongs to a Pause Incorporated. I used the local library and mail services to track down the information I was looking for. Jim Davis, a cartoonist,
This is
created a
ridiculous.
comic strip about a cat, Garfield, and a man, John Arbuckle. Well, from that point on, I made sure I read the Garfield comic strips. But as I read each one, as each day passed, the strips seemed to resonate with me less and less. I sent letters to Paws Incorporated, long letters, pages upon pages, asking if Mr. Jim Davis could somehow publish just the one comic over and over again. It would be meditative, I wrote. The strength of that. Could you imagine? But no response. The strips lost their power.
Wonder why.
And eventually I stopped reading, but I did not want my perceptions diluted, so I vowed to read the pipe strip over and over again. That is what I call it. The pipe strip. The pipe strip. Everything about it is perfect. I can only describe it as a miracle creation. Something came together. The elements aligned. It's like the comets, the cosmic orchestra that is up there over your head. The immense, enormous void is working all for one thing, to tell you one thing. Gas and rock and purity and nothing. I will say this. When I see the pipe strip, and I mean every single time I look at the lines, the colors, the shapes that make up the 3-panel comic, I see perfection. Do I find perfection in many things? Some things, I would say. Some things are perfect. And this is one of them. I can look at the little tuft of hair on John Arbuckle's head. It is the perfect shade. The purple pipe in Garfield's mouth. How could a mere mortal even make this? I have a theory about Jim Davis.
No.
After copious
No.
research, and yes, of course,
No.
now we have the internet, and this information is all readily
No.
available. but
No.
Jim Davis, he used his life experiences to influence his comic. And like I mentioned before, none of them seem to have the weight of the pipe strip. But you have to wonder about the man who is able to even just once create the perfect form, a literally flawless execution of art, brilliance. Just isn't a word. I think there's a spiritual element at work.
I have been in a
I've
situation
seen
where
my
my
share
stream
of
has been
bad
knocked
times, and
down
when you
because
have
of a
something,
copyright
well, it's just
strike, but I don't
emotions
think
and
this is
neurons in your brain,
official
but something tells you that
from
it's
what
the
I can
truth.
tell. And
Truth's
if it
radiant
was
light.
copyrighted, it would have already
Garfield
been
the
struck.
cat.
I would have already been taken
Neurons in
down.
my
So
brain.
I think it's fine.
Harmony, you
I
see.
think it's okay.
John and Garfield. It's truly harmony, like a continuous, looping,
Hopefully.
everlasting harmony. The lavender chair, the brown end table, the salmon-colored wall, the forest green carpet, and Garfield is hunched, perched, perhaps with the pipe stuck firmly between his jowls. His tail curls around. It's more than shapes, too, because Okay, stay with me. I've done this experiment several times. You take the strip. You trace only the basic elements. You
No.
can do anything. You can simplify the shapes down to just blobs, just outlines, but it still makes sense. You can replace the blobs with magazine cutouts of other things. Replace John Arbuckle with a car parked in a driveway sideways. Cut that out of the magazine, stick it in. Replace him there in the second panel with a food processor. Okay? And then we put a picture of the planet in the third panel over Garfield. It still works. These are universal proportions. I don't know how best to explain why it works. I've studied the pipe strip and analyzed John and Garfield's proportions against several universal mathematical constants. E, pi, the golden ratio, the Feigenbaum constants, and so on. And it's surprising.
Who knows?
Scary even, how things align.
I just want to see it,
You can
and I
take
may
just tiny
actually
pieces of the pipe strip, for
skip
instance,
a little
take John's
bit.
elbow from the second panel. And take
Here,
that and
to
project
get
it
some
back
time
over
passing,
John's entire shape in the second
I'm
panel.
going
See a near
to,
perfect Fibonacci sequence emerge. It's eerie to me. It makes you wonder if you're in the presence of a deity, if there is some larger hand at work. There's no doubt in my mind that Jim Davis is a smart man. Jim Davis is capable of anything, to me. He is remarkable. But this is so far beyond that. I think we might see that this work of art is revered and respected in years to come.
I'm gonna go
Jim
get
Davis is
something.
possibly
I'm
a
gonna let
master
this
of the
video
craft,
play so I
a
can get
genius
some of
the
this shit
eye.
out of
They
the
very
way.
well may say
Thank you.
the
I'll be right
same
back.
things about Jim Davis in 500 years that we say about the great philosophical and artistic masters from centuries ago. Jim Davis is a modern-day Socrates or Da Vinci, mixing both striking visual beauty with classical, daring, unheard-of intellect. Look, he combines these things to make profoundly simple expressions. This strip is his masterpiece. The pipe strip is his masterpiece. And it is a masterpiece and a marvel. I often look at Garfield's particular pose in this strip. He is poised and statuesque, and his cat stare is reminiscent of the fiery gazes often found in religious iconography. But still, his eyes are playful, lying somewhere between the solemn father's expression in Rembrandt's Return of the Prodigal Son and the coy smirk of Da Vinci's St. John the Baptist. His ears stick up, signifying a peaked readiness. It's as if he could at any moment pounce. He is, after all, a close relative and descendant of the mighty jungle cats of Africa that could leap after prey.
Oh, I was about to say, you better not be
You could
calling
see the
Garfield
power
God
drawn
or
in
something.
Garfield's hindquarters. Powerful haunches indeed. The third panel. And I'm just saying this now. This is just coming to me now. The third panel of the pipe strip is essentially a microcosm for the entire strip itself. All the power dynamics, the struggle for superiority, right? Who has the pipe? Where is the pipe? All of that is drawn.
I don't think anyone
layered
really
in
cares.
Garfield's iconic pose here. You can see it in the curl of his tail. Garfield's ear whiskers stick up on end. The smoke billows upward, drawing the eye upward. Increasing scope. I'm just amazed. Really, that after 33 years of reading and analyzing the same comic strip, I'm able to find new dimensions. It's a testament to the work. For 6 years, I delved into tobacco research because can a cat smoke? This is a metaphysical question. Yes. Can any
like,
cat
what?
smoke? Do we know? Can just Garfield smoke? The research says no. Nicotine poisoning can kill animals, especially household pets. All it takes is the nicotine found in as little as a single cigarette. Surely John's pipe holds a substantial amount of tobacco. And it is true that pets living in the home
So
of
the
smokers
theory
are
is that Garfield is a
25%
gun,
more
I'm
likely
guessing.
to develop some form of
To
cancer,
some degree.
most likely due to secondhand smoke. But these are facts of smoking and its tolls on
Hold
our
on a
world.
minute.
But after visiting 2
I'll be
tobacco
right
processing plants in
back.
Virginia and the Philip Morris cigarette manufacturing facility, I came no closer to cracking the meaning. I was looking for any insight. A detective of a homicide case has to look at every angle. So I'm always taking apart the pipe strip. I focused on every minutiae,
Told you I'd be right
every
back.
detail of this strip. John Arbuckle's clothing. I have replicas. I'm an expert in textiles. So you see, this smoking thing was a hang-up for me. What was the statement here? Until... And this is key. This is the breakthrough. The pipe is not a pipe, really. Obviously, there is symbolism at work here. I saw that from the beginning, and I looked at the literal aspects of the strip to gain insight into the metaphors at play. I worked at a newspaper printing press for 18 months in the late 1980s. I was learning the literal to inform the gestural, the subliteral, the in-between. John reading
He did
news-
that just
newspaper
so
means
that
so
he
much more
could
than
understand
just
a Garfield.
John reading the newspaper. But how could you ever hope to decipher the puzzle without knowing everything there is to know about newspapers? Okay. For example, John holds his paper up with his left hand, thumb gripping the interior. I learned that this particular grip here is the newspaper grip of 19th century aristocrats. And this aristocrat grip was a point of contention. that
can't be
influenced the
this
decision to move
deep.
forward with Prohibition in the United States in the early 20th century. So John's hand position is much more than that. It is a comment on class war and the resulting reactionary culture. But I didn't know about the aristocratic newspaper grip until I came across some microfiche archives at the printing press. It's about
I'm not going to
information.
bed tonight.
You have to take it apart. And the breakthrough on a
I'm really
smoking
not.
cat came late. Just 8 years ago, actually. A smoking cat is an industry term. It's what the smoking industry calls a tattletale teenager who tells on his friends after they've all tried smoking for the first time. And it is actually a foreign translation, bastardization of the term smoking rat.
I don't think
The
that he
phrase was
would.
confused when secret documents went back and forth between
Don't
China
doubt
and
him.
America.
He's pretty nuts.
These documents are still secret.
Oh, I thought that was
The
gonna
only
be a
reason I know
nuke
about
sign. I
the
was like,
term is
what?
because I know a man, my friend. Let's call him Timothy. Yeah. Yes, it's a fake name for his protection. Timothy worked for Philip Morris
Why
for
did-
16 years, and he had seen the documents. When he told me, it was an aha moment. And he said, but how? How could this cartoonist, Jim Davis, know about this obscure term from the mid-70s used exclusively by a few cigarette companies? This is still a mystery to me. But I connect the dots by noting Jim Davis's childhood experiences on a farm. He must have seen something. What could it be? Timothy went on to tell me there was one particular smoking cat, a boy from, yes, Indiana. A boy named Ernie Barguckle.
Yeah, I can pretty much tell you this
Forward
isn't
on the side of the
copyrighted,
tobacco
or
companies
I
for
would have already
copyright.
been told to turn it off,
He did more than
or it
tell
would
to
have
his
blocked out the
parents. He and his
audio,
family
and
took
then
legal
soon it would
action,
just
and he
flag
eventually
me.
received a huge
So yeah,
settlement
it's
payout.
not copyrighted.
But that name is too similar. Ernie Barguckle. John Arbuckle. Jim Davis must have used this. But there's more here. Ernie Barguckle spent nearly half of that settlement money on experimental
Grubhub's
medical
deep too.
procedures to cure
I mean,
his
he could go this deep with a comic strip.
impotence.
Not even a comic strip, a
He was impotent.
newspaper comic strip.
So he was a
He could go pretty
smoking
deep with
cat
a whole commercial series.
a metaphorical pipe that did not work. Are you starting to see the layers here? This is exciting stuff. You start to get a whole picture here, and it informs the work. It's just remarkable. Jim Davis took these raw ideas, these pieces, and he transformed them into smart social commentary that is also ravishingly beautiful.
No, this is just weird.
I've cried,
Sussy.
I've cried over this piece. It just
Why?
gets into my soul. I try to explain this to people. I have the newspaper articles about Ernie
You're
Barguckle.
doing it right now, buddy.
People have fought me on this. They don't see it, or they are closed-minded. How can a comic strip about a cat smoking a pipe mean any more than that? But it is more. And when I feel spiritual or start to think existentially, I still see this comic. Here is something from 1981 that I wrote in thinking about the implications of this trip. This is just an excerpt here. There's more before and after, but this part is the essence to me. If a comic about a cat smoking a pipe can be the only thing in the universe, then maybe this is the strongest evidence for that. Many of
Why
you
is
say,
the camera like
"Oh, but I am not
backing him
blind.
up?
I have never been blind. But when you truly see, you will understand just how truly blind you once were to even think it right to say you were not blind. What does a blind man see? Blackness, darkness, blankness, black darkness, dark blankness. The absence
What?
of things, quite literally no thing, no things, nothing, nothings. So you see nothing, and I bring you into the light. A cat has your pipe. You've been blind. Do you understand this? The cat has your pipe. You can't fully immerse yourself. You don't have the light. You don't have the radiance, the radical light, the radically radiant light of truth and truth's belonging love and nature of light and loving truthful radiance. So don't be bold and make bold statements. I know of you. The cat has your pipe. The cat has your pipe. Remember that.
no? I'm just gonna try to forget it the
That
best I
writing, well,
can.
It's kind of rough.
Yeah. Oh,
Kind of an
really?
early 80s feel.
Kind of an
I
early
see that.
psychotic feel.
But I'm still proud of it. Sometimes I imagine that it is the editorial column in the newspaper John Arbuckle is reading. It's an exercise in recursion.
Oh
It's
no,
like a
yeah,
vortex.
it is. Apparently, he said
It's
that
like you hold two mirrors up to
the
each
guy
other.
who was
One is
playing video
reality
games
and the
was
other is a
Jimmy,
cartoon strip.
and then this guy looks nothing like
Oh yes.
Carl
Let's bring this
Weezer
up because
is
I think
Carl
surely
Weezer,
Jim Davis is
and then
again
there's this
speaking
guy
on
looks
multiple
nothing like
levels
Sheen,
by including the
and
details set
apparently he
before us in the
is
comic.
Sheen. He looks even less like
Another
Sheen
glimpse
than
of
the other guy
John
looks just
Arbuckle's
like Carl. Like he looks doesn't like it, but
The size
apparently
of
it's
the shoe would
true,
indicate
so...
that maybe the man just has small feet.
I don't even know what he has to say about
Deeper
this.
investigation takes us to the foot-binding rituals of certain Asian cultures. Inflicted usually on women for the desire of men, this practice was incredibly painful and crippling. Ah, Mr. Davis is here presenting us with a man, or rather, man, who engages in foot binding, a body modification for women on top of being without his pipe or impotent. This is a man facing extreme inner turmoil. The panels tell that story subconsciously. Notice the background wall shading of the first panel points inward toward John in the second panel. And the sharp
I think it got way
of the
too
purple
serious,
type in the
though.
third frame
Like,
also points at John
later in
second
the
panel,
video, he
inward.
started to get
The eye is drawn to the
kind
center
of
panel.
like he was acting like
You
he
can
was
connect these points and
legitimately
draw a
believing
triangle
that.
across the panels, and this triangle will align with the reoriented points of John's collar. This is majestic artwork, and to uncover this hidden order is bliss like I've never known. Comfort in an empty world. I can't help but read the thought bubble again and again. Now where could my pipe be? Now where could my pipe be? It is a profound question. Why am I here? What is my
The guy who
purpose?
made that's dead,
It
right?
is reflection and self-examination.
Because if he is,
it is facing the dust.
he lived long
the
enough
misery of a
to
cold, careless universe. You can feel the
maybe not have to
Where could
witness
my
his
pipe
creation
be?
being overthought to the
One
point that it
imagines the
takes
author, Jim Davis,
an
nearly
hour
teetering on
and
the
1
edge of
minute
insanity.
to
His
explain
rationality,
it.
his lucidity hovering over the
I wouldn't
void,
want to know that.
and he seeks the truth.
That poor
You can see it in the line
thing
quality
was
of the
tortured like
drawings,
this.
the thoughtful, controlled outlines mixed with the occasional chaotic scribbles that lurk in the shadows and Garfield's dark stripes. It's almost as if Garfield is chaos himself. Yes. He is the embodiment of chaos, disorder, hatred, fear, thievery, death, destruction, desolation. These are the things Garfield represents. He stole the pipe. He sits with his back to John Garfield. Garfield, this
He's
chaos
still
cat
alive?
Garfield has turned his back on everything.
I feel bad for the guy.
One recalls the
He
great
has to live knowing that
existential
this
forces
was
in literature.
created, and he knows it was
Camus,
created. I
Rousseau,
honestly just feel bad
Kafka's
for him
Gregor
now.
Samsa or Sartre's Antoine
I didn't even know
Roquetel.
that. That's sad.
Garfield the cat sees the hopelessness of life, which,
I genuinely feel bad for him.
yes, this is why Jim Davis has chosen smoking. It represents a recklessness, a disregard for what some would define as the beauty of life. Garfield may die from the nicotine. He may not. He defies life. He sits defiant, saying nothing, but looking as if he could say, "Then let me die." It does not matter. It
He
does
doesn't
not
look like he
matter.
cares. I mean,
And we are faced with this. Could John behave the same? Is John the glimmer of hope? He seems to be unsure. Again, his question. Now, where could my pipe be? Indicates that he is wrestling with his own existence.
or that he is looking
The
for
center
his
panel
pipe.
centers the issue, and again, this harkens to many of the great religious
How hard
works
is
of
that to
art.
accept?
I'm talking about the pipe strip in relation to religion. It's interesting to assign the roles of God and anti-God, or as many know him to be, the devil, or on a much larger scale, simply the forces of good and evil. Garfield, the thief cat, evil and malicious. He is the devil, placed to the right. And note the two forms of John. The John on the left, still innocent, still draped in the delight of the lack of knowledge. He is the humans in the Garden of Eden. He feels for his pipe, but he has yet to eat from the tree. And Garfield, the sinister serpent. And notice how Jim Davis has framed this.
Wait,
The center John.
you know I'm talking about the guy who made the comic, not the guy in this video, right?
Knowledge of the existence of evil. It is
Like, just
stunning.
making
The
sure,
great struggle,
because
the
I'm
struggle
talking
that
about
transcends time.
the guy who
Jim
actually
Davis
created
floats
the comic.
over all of this as creator. god of sorts. In his own
Not
right.
whoever this
When he presents
psychopath
this
is.
cautionary message to us
Oh,
all,
Jim
it
Davis,
is as
that
if
guy.
he is speaking from high, and he is saying unto our awaiting ears, "Where will you be when the cat reveals himself? I can tell you where you'll be. You will have a choice. You can face endless suffering and eternal misery. You
Okay,
can be
just making sure you were
forced and
talking
beaten
about
down with
Jim and not
barbarians who
this
claw at each other just for a view of salvation.
fruity nut bar
They'll tear
from
your
the
eyeballs
side of the
out,
street.
rip your gizzards from end to end. They worship this cat, this false
Well, you know
idol,
what?
this evil, horrible cat. Do not be seduced
Real
by
quick.
the cat in the pipe. Garfield, thy name is a mark of the demons of hell.
I need to see
Something
if there's
like
any
this.
more
And to
videos
those
this
listening,
long.
It is a stark reminder to follow the path of the first panel, John. Be humble, be grateful. Honor the law and honor thyself. Be true.
This may
and
be the
good,
longest video.
and no harm will come to you. Pray for salvation. It will be granted unto you.
34-minute one right there.
Be like John Arbuckle as he lowers his head. Be like John Arbuckle as he lowers his paper.
Yeah, this is the
as
longest
he
video.
turns his head. Bow with John Arbuckle and praise unto the creator Jim Davis, and banish demon Garfield from your life. So what is all this?
I don't want to
What
know
am I
what all
saying?
this is.
Aha. What does all this mean? Why is this one comic strip so important to me? And why do I feel the need to share this? Obligation. I
Because
have
you're
an
nuts.
obligation to you all. This is redemption. This is a belief in redemption, a sacrifice of all the obvious trappings of this false modern life. Look at the simplicity in this strip, in the pipe strip. Look at the simple clothes John wears. Look at his simple, basic furniture. No adornments on the wall. Even the very pipe his cat Garfield stole, it is a plain, modest pipe. And I have adapted this way of life. It speaks to me. In our times, well, you don't need me to point out the hyperbole of our times. You have children being born 8 or 9 at a time. You have more money spent on a single Hollywood movie than some nations can spend feeding their starving people. Torture.
True,
Distrust.
actually.
Look
This
around
isn't
you,
wrong.
It's overwhelming. What can you contribute? And every day I look in the mirror and I hold this comic up to the mirror and I look into the mirror and at this little comic strip. Be humble. Be thankful. It is a reminder. Be respectful. You are a statue.
I feel bad for the person who
were
keeps
fragile.
leaving this and coming back hoping I'm done
When you
with this
break,
video.
when you shatter, where will those pieces go? Ask. Ask this question.
I really do.
Will you ask? Humankind is only as great as you. You, the individual. It begins and ends with you. You must treat this expedition, this search, this life with a reverence and intensity found only in the smallest sticks, the littlest leaf, the tiniest stone, the most minuscule grain of sand on a beach of billions. This is the secret. Do you want the pipe?
I don't want the
Do
pipe,
you
my
know
guy. I
want to
don't
know
want
where
the
the pipe
pipe.
is gone? You ask yourself. You ask. You ask. You ask. Now where could my pipe be? When I was a young man, remember now, I first saw this comic when I was 18 years old, ages ago. But I was youthful, vibrant. For weeks I denied that a comic strip was having such a profound effect on me. I was much like
Anybody
John
feel
Arbuckle
generous enough to
in
like
this
this?
middle panel. He says, "Now where could my
At
pipe
least
be?"
one
You can
person?
look into his
Because like,
eyes, his half-lowered
this
eyes,
is-
and think to
this
yourself,
is ridiculous. I shouldn't
"Now, surely,
be
John,
doing this, but
surely you
spare
cannot be
likes
this
are
naive.
gonna help me
This
a
is
little bit.
nothing new for
Make me
you."
feel a little better about myself.
And if you've read more of the Garfield comic strips by Jim Davis,
Thank you.
you'd
Thank you very
understand what
much.
I'm saying now. Garfield the cat does things like this all the time. He will take things from John. Food, items, anything. This is his very nature. So you see this, and you want to say, John Arbuckle, come now. You are lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself and to all of us if you pretend to have not any idea where your pipe has gone. Perhaps you think you left it somewhere else, but you're not so forgetful. You are lying to yourself.
Oh my God.
Yes. You are lying to yourself, John Arbuckle. You know that Garfield has the pipe. Somewhere deep down, you know this. You don't even need to think the question. And that was me when I saw this strip. 1 week passed, and each morning I'd open my drawer and slam it shut again. I would go to look at the comic, but I'd pause and think, oh no, I don't need this comic. I don't need to look at it. But there I was, lying to myself. I did need to see it. And so I did. It's cathartic. You give in, and that is the transition from the second panel of life to the third panel of life. It is a simple story structure, the passage from the second act to the third, the twilight of things. John gives in to his suspicions. He knows the truth. He's always known the truth. He yells out, Garfield, Garfield, Garfield! It is like pressure from a steam valve being released. The buildup is unbearable, and then it's gone. So it is like this. When I speak about the truth, the light, the radiance, this.
I like how they're
this is
adding
kind
the
of thing I'm
effect
talking
behind
about.
them.
This is the essence of this brilliant work of art. The practical mixing, meeting, agreeing with the spiritual, it is all here. But spirituality is not an easy thing to confront. You might find yourself able to wrap your mind around a simple math problem or a basic newspaper article, but intellect is much less subjective. What is spirituality? And how have I found spiritual peace and serenity in Garfield? A long time ago, after I encountered the pipe strip, I spent some time, as I mentioned before, soul searching. When something impacts you or alters your very perception so greatly, there is a long period of confusion and recovery time. It's as if you don't know who you are, and that can be a very scary prospect, especially if you thought you had a good grasp on that sort of thing. Imagine if Jim Davis did not know who he was. Would he be capable of shaping the cultural landscape as he's done? No, of course he wouldn't. And how about his characters? John. What if Jim Davis suddenly woke up and didn't know who John was? What if he couldn't make the informed decisions to accurately depict Garfield's personality because he could no longer specify or demarcate the boundaries of Garfield's behavior? What kind of comic would that be? You see? So draw the parallel. I saw this comic, and yes, I was disoriented.
What is this
If I didn't
filter?
reconcile this issue with myself, what kind of person would I be? Undoubtedly dire circumstances, but remember, this was not a math problem. This was not an article. This was not something I could just figure out. And as skeptical as I was, I realized that faith and spirituality were avenues that required exploring. At first I tried long nights reading Garfield by candlelight or aromatic meditation settings while thinking of Garfield, but nothing snapped.
So just
Nothing
worshiping
clicked. I
Garfield
still felt
religiously.
lost.
That's
But I
smart.
kept it
That
up. I
shows
hired a
where
shaman
you are
and
mentally
young
right now. Good job, buddy.
Personal yogi, Sikh guru, Avram Dav Singh Sahib. I pushed and pushed, determined to find myself. And then a miracle happened. Upon
God.
retrieving my morning paper to clip the Garfield comic, I noticed a young girl selling lemonade 2 houses down. She sat occupied at her stand. She had no customers in sight, so I approached and saw that she was coloring. I looked at her drawing. 3 rectangular boxes.
Oh
A
my
man in a
God.
blue shirt, an orange cat. I knew what this was. Even in her crude scribbles, I knew exactly what this was. She was drawing a Garfield comic.
Well,
I looked at her
whoa.
words and I saw that in her strip, John asked Garfield to retrieve a newspaper. Funny, since I've done just that for myself.
Oh.
Garfield is sarcastic, but agrees to it. He returns and calls John Sahib. John exclaims that the paper is all chewed up, but then Garfield says, and I quote, Sahib asks fish, paper is wet. Sahib asks cat, paper is holy. I remember the words and ran back to my house. I thought, how odd that Sahib shows up in the strip, and my spiritual advisor's name is Avram Dav Singh Sahib. Coincidence, surely, but nonetheless, I spent the next 16 hours poring through my clipped Garfield comics, looking for the strip this young girl had been coloring. I couldn't find it.
This hurts.
Eventually fell
It
asleep
just
right on my
hurts. That's
kitchen
all I
table.
can say, honestly. It just mentally
Next
hurts.
morning, I retrieved my paper again and I clipped the Garfield
It's too
comic.
much.
The date was July 12th,
We're getting close to the
1983.
40-minute mark of this piece of
Sahib
shit.
strip in all its glory. The girl had been drawing
This
the next
mind
day's
game.
strip. Well, I ran right out of my house. I ran back to where she was, but she was gone, and in place of the lemonade stand was a for sale sign. They'd moved out. I rushed back to my house to call Avram, but I was informed that he'd moved away as well. I reeled for several hours, then it all connected for me. It was meant to be. It was meant to be this way. Jim Davis, John, Garfield. It was always meant to be this way for me. They move to the forefront and everything else fades away. Everything else, the girl, the lemonade stand, Avram's Dav Singh Sahib, it all existed to show me the way, and when I'd found the way, everything else melted away. It was a beautiful miracle. And of July 1978, the day I first saw the pipe strip, was the first day of my life, and that day, July 12, 1983,
Stop.
was the second day of my life. I've never looked back. Garfield has transformed me, and I am a man born anew because of Garfield.
What?
When I was in my mid-30s, I was interviewed for a documentary. It was a documentary on the subject of cat behavior. Now, I have had cats my whole life. I have 3 cats now, and at the time of this documentary interview, I had 4 cats. I sat down for the interview and was joined by a veterinarian who specialized in feline. Dr. Carolyn Wilmans was her name, I believe. And the doctor discussed color blindness in animals and how it affects their behavior. She specifically brought up the fact that cats are
Excuse me,
red-green
I'm feeling
colorblind.
this.
They can see colors, but they can't tell the difference between red and green. And look at the color choice in this strip here. Garfield sits on a green floor behind a pinkish red wall.
Hey.
I heard this and I immediately pulled a
Think it'll
copy
be
of the
fine.
comic from my wallet to show to the doctor. I moved so fast, I'm sure I nearly scared her. I pointed at the paper and said, like this, look at this here, this cat, Garfield, he's colorblind, he must be. That must be the answer here. Like this. As overexcited as I was, I managed to take in her response. She said, yes, a cat in this room would have a hard time differentiating the wall from the floor. Add to that cat's known spatial confusion, and you have the makings of a cat rage room. Now, she informed me this isn't exactly common knowledge among cat owners, but a seasoned cat owner or someone particularly perceptive will have picked up on it. So what's incredible here is not only is Garfield's behavior symbolic of the devil and all the evil constructs in the world, but also it is rooted in science and scientific fact. Look at that. You cannot spell fact without cat. Just a little joke there. Just some more. Getting back on track. And you can't spell track without cat. Okay. I digress. I gotcha. Enough kidding around. It is established here that Garfield is in a rage. An
I want to
ultimate
believe
rage
you, by the
of
way,
fury and
but
hatred
how did he
caused
get a
by
whole like
colorblindness.
film crew?
We know the what. We know the why.
I'm pretty sure
let
he
us
is on an
examine the
acid
how.
trip though.
The how of his rage is particularly interesting here. We've looked at his posture and called it powerful, in control, statuesque, etc., etc. Composed rage. It's peculiar, and I've talked to a number of psychologists and psychiatrists and even a couple of anger management therapists about this concept. Could we see the same kind of behavior in a human? Is Garfield representative of something more specific than just chaos and rage? Deciphering this is going to take some perseverance for sure. The psychologist pointed to a phenomenon in humans, and yes, I believe one of the anger management counselors brought it up as well. The idea that people oftentimes will bottle their rage. Garfield the cat here, well, he could be bottling his anger inside, shoving it deep into his cat gut to ignore and deal with at a later time. Well, no, that's not exactly right. Garfield has already acted it out. He's already stolen the pipe. He's smoking the pipe. He's already dealt with his anger. He's already lashed out. So, psychologically, what is going on here?
That's what
What
I'm
is
trying to
this
figure
cat
out about
doing,
you.
and how does it impact his owner, John Arbuckle, psychologically? Well, Garfield is angry. He's acting on his anger. But is this passive anger or aggressive anger? Passive. It is passive because if Garfield has a problem with John specifically, he's choosing a passive way of dealing with that problem. He's not confronted John and said, John, I have a problem with the way you've decorated this room. As a cat, I am colorblind, and this sends me into a rage. You've created a rage room for me here, and I don't like it. I want you to change it. Instead of that confrontational approach, though, Garfield has chosen to steal John's pipe. And that in turn angers John. But John decides to be aggressively angry and yell at Garfield. So now instead of a calm conversation between two respectful parties, you have two heated, angry individuals, each with a problem and no direct line to solving it. The layered emotions here tell a story with tight, focused brevity that would make Hemingway weep. This is an entire drama in just 3 panels, people. But let's not be remiss and miss the humor of the situation, the absurdity of it all. For certainly there is a reason the visual shorthand for drama includes both a crying mask and a laughing mask. Comedy and tragedy complement each other and meld together to create drama. Tension, the height of humanity, the peak of art that reflects back to us our own condition. And here, in its basest form, we can laugh at this comic. Yes, comic, in which a cat smokes a pipe.
Oh
When was the
my
last
God,
time
he
you've
has.
seen such a thing in your life?
He hasn't. He has
Yeah,
never
right,
said the
zero.
word lasagna yet.
I certainly never have.
Because it doesn't
The
show
great
up in the
muse
comic
Thalia's
strip he's talking
presence
about.
is strong in this work of art here. Comic,
At least I
it is
think that's
comedy.
why. I'm
And if
guessing.
you look at the structure again, you'll see this perfect form of thirds works magically for the transmission of yes, a joke. The joke is as old as time. Even cavemen told jokes. And the joke here is that John has lost his pipe. Well, he thinks he has. But lo and behold, it is the cat Garfield who has the pipe. Surprise, surprise, the cat is smoking. Again, the
That
transition
is
from setup to
literally what
punchline takes place
everyone
between the
is
second
aware, that
and
it's a
third panels.
joke.
But make no mistake, the comic is more than just a comic. Yes, it is funny, of course it is. It is operating at the height of sophisticated humor on par with any of Shakespeare's piercing wit. On the one hand, Garfield the comic with John the man, humor is art. The other hand, Garfield comic with John the man,
What?
stirring, no, riveting, drama. As with everything, it is tension and release, tension and release, a cycle. I keep returning to this idea because it is so omnipresent. Yes, you could, and yes, I have done this on more than one occasion. You could print this comic strip on a giant piece of paper. The dimensions would be something like 34 inches by 11
Uh,
inches.
I'm gonna fall
Now
asleep
tape the ends together with the comic
if I'm
facing
not careful.
inward. Stick your head in the middle of this Garfield comic loop and read. Start at the first panel. John is reading the newspaper. He feels for something on the end table. Second panel, he sets the newspaper down. Something is not right. Now, where could my pipe be, he thinks. And then the payoff. The third panel. Garfield has John's pipe and is smoking it. But the paper is in a loop around your head, so that you can see that once again John is in his seat reading the paper, and so on and so on.
So,
you could literally read the comic
he's
strip for eternity.
definitely on something
And
pretty
spend
messed
many
up.
a relaxing Sunday
He is
afternoon
very
reading the
crazy
strip
right
over
now.
and over.
And I don't know how you avoid it besides the fact that I would never watch the animated Garfield series ever again.
So this
That's
idea
one
of
way to avoid it.
repetition, and the beginning being the end, and the end being the beginning, it's not new. It is an ageless tradition among the best storytellers
Or you
humanity
could
has
just
ever
start
offered.
worshipping Ben Shapiro like the rest
And
of
I'm
us.
not wrong to include cartoonist Jim Davis in that exalted set for this particular strip alone. I'm not foolish enough to deny that great art is subjective, divisive even, and that some people see this Garfield comic and shrug with no real reaction. But I will say that I believe everyone in the world should see it. At the very least, see it. You should all see it. Read it. Spend some time with it. Spend an hour reading it. What's an hour? Yes, you could watch some television program. You could play some fast-paced video games or computer games. Yes, you could do all those things. But it's just an hour. And if you give this strip a chance, if you look into John Arbuckle's eyes, if you look into John Arbuckle's soul, you might find that you'll really be looking into your own soul. It's self-discovery.
That's
That is
deep,
what I'm
Crash
talking
and G.
about here.
That's.
You have the opportunity, the possibility.
But it's also
to change
retarded.
it. Don't be afraid.
Come on, this isn't legitimately like.
Just last week I was eating lunch near the municipal court.
This
Like I
isn't
did on
actually.
Thursday, there was a plumbing van parked out in front.
I don't know how to say.
And a
This
man,
is just a
plumber,
comic. He's
step
on
out to the
something. I
court
don't
and
know
prove
what
something from his
AIDS.
van
Maybe.
himself.
I'm sure he has AIDS. What he's on? I don't know.
I thought nothing of it. Just a plumber doing
It's
some
something
work
pretty
at the
good,
municipal court.
considering that
But
he
then he came
is
out and
lost
looked
his
for his
mind.
van, and it was clear he couldn't find something. I noticed and thought, well, that's sort of similar to the
This
Garfield
is-
comic in a way. Someone looks for something, can't find it. But yes, that probably happens billions of times a day around the world. But then this plumber put his hands on his hips.
Oh, it's too
Then he
much.
scratched his head and he said
Dude, it's
aloud,
too much. It's too much stuff.
"Now
This has
where
been
could
going
my
on for.
pipe wrench be?"
How long have I been watching this? 50
With
minutes.
this, I leaped off the bench.
We had 10
Sandwich still
minutes
in
left.
hand, and I rushed over. I shouted, "What was that you said?" He looked at me.
He
and said,
snorted
"What?"
vibranium?
I can't find my pipe wrench, and I said,
Is this
"No,
a potential
no,
MCU
say it
crossover?
Like how you just said it." He scratched his head.
That's
and
pretty cool,
repeated,
actually. I'm not gonna lie.
"Now where could my pipe wrench be?"
Pipe
I slapped him on the
wrench.
back and said, "Garfield!" He looked so confused, so I said it again. Then I said,
What? Where did
"Your
this come
orange cat
from?
took it." And I laughed and laughed. And he smiled and went back into the courtroom. I walked away.
I
knowing
think
that
I'm starting to
the
realize
plumber and
just
I
how
were
insane
two
this guy
complete
is,
strangers
and it's
bonded over
making
this
my
Garfield
day.
comic. You see, life imitates art and becomes a common ground. I have a feeling that if I see this plumber
Anyone
again,
here
we'll be
wanna
sharing
get a
stories
common
like
ground
two old
in?
friends, because we've been united by art. We have a common love for Jim Davis and his characters, his writings.
I mean, he'd be a good person to show up in the multiverse of madness, so that he can spend an hour of the
By the way,
movie's
I wondered
runtime
what I was
talking
having
about
for lunch
Garfield.
that day. It was a ham sandwich
He'd
with
drive everyone
apple
pretty
and potato
mad.
chips in a bag. I had a soda as well. I think it's important to view the pipe strip in philosophical terms. We've touched briefly on the notion of existentialism. That theme is very, very prevalent in this strip. Garfield is, in fact, a modern existential anti-hero. But if Garfield embodies the bewilderment in a meaningless life, what is John? What are the
John
telltale
is
signs that
intelligent.
informs John's philosophical standpoint, his approach, what style of thinking he represents? John is depicted as being grounded in the material world, a world of things. He is surrounded by objects, and he touches these objects. He interacts with them. The newspaper, the end table, the chair, his clothes, all these physical things make up John's world. In some sense,
Anybody here feel like
his
liking
Cat
this?
Garfield is an object to him, a thing.
I can show you the timestamp
The first ideology that comes to mind when
because
thinking
I
of
have been
objects
watching
in the
this for
tangible
well over
world
50 minutes and it's
is
painful.
pragmatism.
So, do a guy a favor.
Is John Arbuckle
Please.
a pragmatist? His beliefs stem from a useful, coherent
I've got
view
2
of his
new
environment.
Mamers Banquet videos
A sort
coming
of
out soon.
cause and
So,
effect
if
understanding
anyone wants to
of
see
his
me
world
curse everyone
helps
with my mama noodles, feel free to.
A, deduce that his
tell
pipe
me.
is missing, and B, catch his cat Garfield using the pipe. This kind of empirical and logical thinking lends credence to the idea that
Have you
John
visited
is
this
indeed
guy
a
or something?
pragmatist. Although it is hard to entirely ignore. the
Oh,
rest
so
of
that's his
Garfield
powers.
comic
He
canon.
he can quote.
While Garfield is consistently
Let me get rid of
anarchic
this.
and
I thought
embraces
it
the
would just go away
chaos
by
and
itself.
absurdity of life, John Arbuckle exhibits an erratic, unpredictable mix of philosophical behavior.
I could have just done a stream on this by
At times he is
itself,
borderline,
and
delusional,
it's a copyright-free
idealist, an almost
film of
slap-happy version
just
of Don Quixote. Other moments he
stupidity
is rigid, nearly to
that
the
I just
point
had
of
to
being
get a whole
obsessive.
fucking playlist to
Somewhat
go
like a
with.
structuralist, and certainly has streaks of sarcasm and negativity that might classify him as a skeptic. But isn't there some universal truth in this approach? How can any one man, how can John Arbuckle be just one thing? How can any of us be just one thing? We're an amalgamation of ideas and emotions, conducts and functions, thoughts and feelings. We may very well inhabit tenets of nearly every major philosophical tract known to man. We all might. Characters are reduced to make them recognizable, definable. A story needs a good guy, a story needs a bad guy. But rarely is one person defined in such black and white terms. Even Garfield, with all his bad behavior, Machiavellian motivation, and general ne'er-do-well attitude, can be kind and thoughtful. You just have to find that rare strip.
This is so.
Speaking philosophically,
This has
about the
gotta
entire
end soon,
Garfield
right?
franchise, it's an incredibly accurate depiction of life. Its bold lines and bright colors are merely a facade, a red herring, a lie. This cartoon is not a cartoon at all. It is not caricature. It is not caricature despite adopting caricature as its visual style and tone.
Maybe one day on
But I
the
don't
channel
really
that
like
we made,
speaking
we could
fond,
just have
making
everybody
generalizations about Garfield.
do like a Discord chat, and then
Comic has been
whoever
running
has
for
the
over 30
best
years.
PC that doesn't
Try and
that's not
boil
gonna
it all down as just,
explode
well,
can
it's
like
impossible.
run the stream. Since it's
I
like,
think
you
the
know, the
only
same
way
channel for all of
any
us,
historian worth his
and then we
salt
can
will
all
really
just
is
come
to
in and
look
do
at
it at the
individual
same time.
moments, isolated instances,
Something like
single
this,
comic strips.
maybe.
Can I discuss this one strip in the
We'll just have a
context of the
vote on
entire
what
run of
we're gonna be
Garfield?
streaming, and then
Yes, I do that
see where
just
we
as
go
a
from
film
there.
historian might analyze one movie in relation to the history of all movies, or a war enthusiast might look at a single battle's impact on an entire war.
that's what I was thinking, is that
Pipe
he's
strip is
trying
just
to
an
explain
instance
why
of life
Garfield's a
John
god,
Garfield.
but
Perhaps John is not a
something
pragmatist
tells
at
me
all.
that's
Let's
not
look at
true.
this again.
Just an
Maybe John is
observation.
exhibiting the traits of a rationalist thinker. His question, now where could my pipe be, is a clue that his
But
thought process
maybe
stems from
he's-
the early rationalist questions posed by René Descartes. The well-known quote, I think,
they, like, give them
therefore I am,"
medications
attributed
like
to
this?
Descartes is applicable.
To like keep them in
Another
line or
close Look
something.
at the strip, and we see that Jim Davis chose to draw John thinking his question. Now, where could my pipe be? John does not speak.
The
his
pure
question aloud. So Jim
stupidity
Davis
of
is
this
also
guy
exploring the mind-body duality.
makes me
John's question operates on the level of a literal question.
insane. I won't say
It also
stupidity
is
because he's
obsessed
very
with
much
the nature of
intelligent,
reality. Jim
but
Davis's
he's also insane.
epistemological approach
Like,
tells us
because
something
no
about the
one
human
that's
condition.
stupid could
John's thoughts remain the focal
overthink
point of this
this
strip.
this much, but
The comic is quite literally
he's
centered
also
around this thought.
definitely not,
Where could my pipe be? This is his reality.
and
This
he's
is
not
where
sane.
cognition
He's
and the power
nuts.
and function of the mind take over. As Plato believed, the body is just a shell for John Arbuckle. Yes, he can use his physical body to
What?
read his paper or cross his legs, but these inputs of touch, sight, hearing, etc., these senses are the triggers of the mind. As we see here, the mind is something greater.
What?
It is the originator of ideas, and ideas are forever, immortal. Immortality through thought, a major theme in literature and philosophy. And isn't that what Mr. Jim Davis himself has achieved? Will he live forever? The universe will continue to spread and spread outward, and entropy will turn a chaotic infinity into a homogeneous, controlled system. This will take billions of years, and in that time, humans will push technology to heights we can't imagine. We'll explore and inhabit space and occupy more and more of the universe, just as time allowed our ancestors to
How did we
multiply in
get
numbers
to
and
this
populate
point?
more and more of the earth.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
And as the specific people come and go, their physical bodies will be born and grow and die, but their thoughts will remain. And Jim Davis's comics, his glorious Garfield comics, are recorded ideas of his that will still be here. Even when the earth is no longer inhabitable, and humanity has long since moved away to bigger planets.
I'm getting
turning
deja
rhythm
vu
of
from this scene.
record we all keep. Mark my words. And look at what we've started. What is the internet? What is the online world if not a record? A never-ending feed of ideas, immortal ideas, forever placed in the ether of dualism. What is an idea? And where does it live? And how does it manifest itself? Can it live forever? Will it live forever outside of these physical husks of ours, our bodies? And John Arbuckle and Garfield started merely as thoughts. And they've become so much more. That old cliche rings true. They've taken on a life of their own. And life may not be what we think. Life brings to mind. Beating heart, breathing lungs, blinking eyes. But the real life is in our imaginations. And who better embodies the definition of imagination if not a simple man? A cartoonist who puts his ideas to paper so they may live on, that our children and our children's children and their children's children's children can access the wealth of ideas that have accumulated thus far. They will plug themselves into an information grid and they will have access. They will
But
read
why?
every Garfield comic. 80,000 years from now, a child will see simple John Arbuckle reading a newspaper. He will feel around for something, but that something is not there. He will lift his head and think, now where could my pipe be? And Garfield will be smoking a pipe. And John will yell, Garfield! And what then? 80,000 years from now? The child reading this comic will smile. And that smile will transcend space and time and the physical limitations of this existence, whatever it may be. However many dimensions exist, there will always be Garfield. And there will always be its creator, Jim Davis.
Here, you know what? I'll just let it keep playing. Lasagna. It's mentioning lasagna. Ooh, poopy fart joke. I'm dying. Okay. Before I start this, I'd just like everybody to... What? What? Why did I just open up? Anyway, can we just... Can we just, like, think about what just happened for a second? Like, what did I just lay my eyes upon? That's not supposed to happen. But you know what? Fine. But I don't know how I got through that without ever skipping. But okay, let's go ahead and start this less than a minute exciting video. It sounds like it's in reverse. What? Okay, this just looks disturbing. But I'll let it run. What the? What is this? It seems to be getting like progressively weirder. What the fuck? Why am I having to... What? What? No, I'm not watching this. Not watching it. I'm not looking at this. I'm not. I'm tired. I don't need to get jump scared. Because I feel like I may have a heart attack. So I'm just gonna... I don't know. I don't... Nope. She's walking to the... No. No, I can't do this right... What? No. What? Nope, I'm not doing it. It's too late for this. To break the windows, and they're not windows if you can't break them. Okay. I feel like this is gonna have a jump scare in it. So I'm just gonna... walk away. Like, just look away. This is weird. How long is this? Like... Who knows? I mean... I don't know what's wrong with you, Mary. He can't really help you. I'm trying to look at... Why would you go down there? Why did I tell you? Jump scare. What did I tell you, people?
Look at him, sleeping like a baby.
Yeah, like a fat little baby.
Like a little, fat, ugly baby.
Like a fat, ugly little abandoned baby.
Because the baby was so fat and ugly, no one would ever love him. Gideon!
Oh, jeez. Oh, awesome. It's you two. What do you want?
What
Rise and
is
shine,
this?
birthday boy. It's time for a surprise.
I'm sorry. I think you've made a mistake. It's not my birthday. Now go away.
Get dressed, cause we're going to party country.
Please explain what party country is.
It's a magical, wonderful land filled with bumper cars, arcade games, and laser tag.
We just discovered it last week.
Wow.
This
Let me
is a
finish
very
my
weird
nap and I'll get
shift
right
from
on
someone
that.
being trapped inside of a house
We're gonna put a curse
with
on
something
Well, you've already
to,
put a curse
oh
on
my
me.
god, it's my
You've
birthday,
kept me
let's go
from
to a
sleeping.
party.
Come on, Gideon. It's time.
you have to give in.
You can't resist.
What's happening?
Alright, guys. Enough with the glowing eyes. You've made your point. I'll come with you.
Yay, birthday! Okay, keep them closed. No peeking. 3, 2, 1, surprise!
Wow. That cake is, it looks fantastic.
Nara, that cake looks like it's seen better days.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to make a cake without hands?
Well, all I have is these paws. I can't even hold a spatula. All I can do is bat at frosting and look adorable.
Yeah, I miss having a body.
Yeah, me too.
That does kind of
I
sound
have
like
no
Moist
idea
Critical,
what
I'm
you
not
two
gonna
are
lie.
talking about.
Shut up and eat your cake.
That really does.
This is it. Party country.
I mean, maybe it is, who knows?
Game.
This looks like an incredibly fun game to play, but I would rather be playing something like Able Wickets or Up Jenkins.
Wow.
That
you are
is!
so
Or looks like there's
Get
like
with the
someone else who
times, old
sounds
man.
just like
This
him.
is what all the cool kids are playing now. Come on, play.
Yeah, Dad. It's time to
I
stop
don't know
complaining
anyone who
about
plays
children
arcade
and
games
back
like they're
pain and
cool.
Try something new.
You two are the friendliest bunch I've ever met. Alright. Actually, I think I'm, getting the hang of this. Actually kind of fun.
Play the game, Gideon.
Play the game.
I don't know if you're looking in my direction, but, I am playing the game.
Play. Play.
Alright, stop.
Play. Play.
I'm playing. Thank you. Thank you for noticing.
Oh. Well, that's nice. What? Here, I'll check the description. It's only gonna lag like a
No.
niche.
Oh. Oh, thank heavens. It was only a dream. Wait, what's that? Wow, it's that ugly cake. I guess it wasn't a dream. Oh well, bye.
No, please. It's it lags a lot. No? Pause. Pause. No. Okay, it's replaying, so I think I can check. Crap. What the? What did I just see? It's too late night for this kind of stuff. This is all it shows. So maybe it just sounds like I'm... I don't know, I think it's too late for me to watch it. I just generally don't... What the fuck? What? This is worse than my little brother's room. Trust me. Trust me, you don't... It's too late for this. This is disturbing. How many more of these do we have? There are... What the... It's like my little brother trying to find the last Oreo. Oh my god, I think the lag strikes back.
Tutorial.
I want to read the comments on this one. Honestly.
Hey, tutorial heads. Thanks for doing tutorial.
It's too late for this. Let me just read, like, some of, some of the comments I already see. Bro, are you okay? God, I can't tell how badly I've been needing a tutorial for the exact situation. Okay. Beans at... What is this?
Tutorial.
That's ridiculous. Okay, you know what? Guys, my head hurts. It's been a long day. I was thinking I could finish all these, but I haven't even gotten to the 20th. So I'm gonna get to the 20th video, and then I'm gonna end this madness for tonight. Maybe I'll come back, or maybe I'll do a group stream and and finish the rest of it with, like, on the group channel. I guess I have no freaking clue right now. Let me just watch these next two videos. These ought to be good. Yep. What? Then why are you mentioning it? Why would you mention the recording if it has nothing to do with it? Anybody else watching this? I'm gonna have a seizure. I'm trying not to have a seizure right now, but what is happening? There was no computer made to run that video. Poochie and Pansy. Now I know I'm in for something good. Let's watch the last video of this doo-doo. I'm turning this up. Hope it's not too loud. Oh yeah. Totally. What? This thing on? Okay. Thank you for tuning in. Uh, but I think that it is about high time that I sign off for tonight because if I take much more of that, especially that last jump scare and the ear rape and all that crap, it's too much for one man to handle. Uh, so I probably will end up doing the rest another day, like maybe next week or something after that, or maybe I'll do it on the group channel with some other people. I don't know. It really depends. So, uh, yeah. Bye for tonight. Thank you for sticking with me through this horror show, especially through that Garfield video, which took up about 90% of the time. So, see you guys on the next stream or video. This stream is sponsored by XCon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. See you next time. Again, bye.